Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria if it's your first time here. If not, welcome back. And if it is your first time, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. So today I will be doing the 20 questions book tag because the lovely CamScottReads tagged me in his video, which I will link down below, and will also link you to his channel. He's an awesome booktuber. He started around the same time that I did, and I really enjoy his energy in his videos and how he talks about books, and he's just really engaging, and I always enjoy his videos. So go give him a like, a comment, check out all his videos. He's super fun. First question, how many books are too many for a series? Personally, I like to read series that are 2-3 books, preferably, because usually that's about all I have the attention span for lately, are duologies and trilogies. I think the Warrior Cats books has one too many at this point, where they're kind of like recycling the plots. There's so many books in the Warrior Cats overall series. Like, I know they split them between groups of 6. There's so many of them, and I don't even think I have all of the books. I have most of them. I don't have all of them, though, and I could not tell you how many books are in that series. Question 2, how do you feel about cliffhangers? So I like a good cliffhanger. However, I think they tend to be overused. I did a review of The Chestnut Man by Søren Sveistrup as the very first video on my channel, and he overused cliffhangers, but they weren't like very well done cliffhangers, because he would cut off a chapter, but then the next one would pick up immediately in that same scene most of the time with the same character. And it's not a very effective cliffhanger. A good cliffhanger is one where you have multiple points of view going on, and something happens to a character, and then you cut off and you leave it for several chapters at least before you return to this character, before you find out what happened to this character. I think that's the most effective. I do enjoy a cliffhanger at the end of a book because it really pushes me to keep reading the books in the series if it's caught my interest and I've enjoyed it up until that point. A good cliffhanger will push me to keep going. Hardcover or paperback? I prefer hardcover just because I have a tendency to damage my paperbacks. They get thrown into like my bags, and then the covers get bent, or like when I'm reading, like with Pretty Girls, like I almost dropped it. It starts lifting up like that, and I like to have my books nice and neat. But, if I find a book in paperback that I've been looking for, I'll buy it. If I find it in hardcover, I'll prefer that over the paperback, unless it's a book that I'm not, that overly excited about, if that makes sense. Favorite book? Ooh, that's a tough one. So I'm the type of person where if you ask me a favorite of anything, I will freeze up and not have an answer for you. I can't even recall anything I've ever liked in my entire life. I don't know. I think it's a social anxiety thing. I laugh about it because it's funny, because I warn people. I'm like, if you ask me a question about something I like, I'm not gonna have an answer for you. But, so to the best of my ability, I have always really enjoyed Marie Lu's writing. For whatever reason, I don't have Legend, but I have always really liked the Legend series. I've always liked Marie Lu's writing. I really like the Eon duology by Alison Goodman. I really like those books. I need to reread them, actually. I have both of them. I have Eon and Iana, and I need to finish them. I need to reread them because I really like them. I also really like Eleanor Herman's Legacy of Kings. I have read Legacy of Kings, and I've read the first 2 books in this series and hit kind of a snag in my reading life as these books were coming out. I don't even know how many are in the series yet. I need to reread them and finish the series. I'm not sure if the book series itself is complete, but I've always really enjoyed these books. So basically it follows a young Alexander the Great, and it's magic and all that fun stuff. It's really good. I like it. Least favorite book. I don't know that I have a least favorite. I don't know that... I don't know. Probably right now, of the books I've recently read, it would probably be Evelyn Skye's The Crown's Game. And I think this is the lowest rating for a book that I've given so far. So we'll say right now it's The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. Question 6. Love triangles, yes or no? I think love triangles are a little overdone at this point, especially in YA fantasy. The Crown's Game attempted a love triangle that none of them were actually in love with each other, so it's not much of a love triangle. What are some other books? I think Legend attempted a love triangle at one point, but it wasn't really much of a love triangle. I think a love triangle could be really well done if it's not the main focus of the books. I think one of the problems I have with YA lately is that there's so much emphasis on love triangles and love interests, and that being one of the foundational parts of a character's personality, kind of the plot, and I've never been much of a fan of romance novels or romance in novels. I don't know. They usually read more awkward to me, so yeah, I don't know. It really depends if it's well done or not, or if too much focus is put on the love triangle, like The Crown's Game. The Crown's Game really laid it on thick with the love triangle when I didn't buy any of it. Not at all. Question 7. The most recent book you couldn't finish. I haven't finished Mansfield Park by Jane Austen yet. I started reading it for a Jane Austen course I took in college last fall, and I didn't finish it because I wasn't writing my final paper on it. I was writing it on Pride and Prejudice, so I got almost halfway through it. I would like to finish it at some point later this year. I kind of want to focus on other books right now, so I guess that could be it. A book you're currently reading. Where is it? I don't know where I put the book jacket, but I am reading Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. I talked about it a little bit in a currently reading / TBR list video I did probably a week ago at this point, a couple weeks ago, I don't know. I've made some progress with it. I've really been getting into it the past couple of days because I want to finish it before the end of the month and I want to review it. So, currently reading Gods of Jade and Shadow. Last book you recommended to someone. I have been recommending Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse left and right. I recommended it to a friend of mine who was looking for some fantasy recommendations. I cannot praise this book enough. I love it so much. I really want to reread it already while I wait for book 2, which probably won't be here for, I don't even know how long, maybe by the end of the year if I'm lucky. But yeah, so Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. If you like fantasy, go read it. I'm going to recommend it to you now. It's really good. Pre-Columbian Americas, LGBTQ representation, good plot line, good descriptions, really good. Cannot recommend it more. Oldest book you've read by publication date. I think Pride and Prejudice, which was published in 1813. I think I have older books on my shelves. I just haven't read them yet. So Pride and Prejudice coming in 1813. Newest book you've read by publication date. Black Sun, 2020. Question 12 is favorite author. I love Marie Lu. I got into her because of the Legend series, and I've read the first 2 of the Young Elites. I got to finish the 3rd one. I might go back and reread them this year at some point. But I've got 2 of her books on my immediate to-be-read list. I've got Rebels, which is book 4 in the Legend series, and then I've got Warcross, which is a start of a new one. I've got to read those. I also like Alison Goodman, the author of Eon and Iana. I haven't looked into whether she's got other books to read, but I would be interested. I also really like Eleanor Herman, who wrote the Legacy of Kings books. I enjoy them. Question 13, buying or borrowing books. I would like to borrow more books this year as opposed to buy, because I have enough books already, and I generally only buy books anyways if I'm given a gift card to Barnes & Noble, or if I go into like a used bookstore, I'll grab books. I would like to borrow more because if there's new series I'm starting, I'm kind of getting to the point where I don't really want to buy the first book in it if I'm not going to end up really liking it or wanting to reread it. I think it would kind of be a waste, and I'm just going to end up giving it away because I'm trying to get rid of books that I'm not going to reread or read ever, which I just did a March unhaul video. You can check out if you want to see all the books I just got rid of, because I cleared out quite a bit of space. So I usually buy, but this year I would like to borrow more books. I'd like to get to one of the libraries in my area and borrow some books. Question 14, a book that I dislike that everyone seems to love. The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. I kind of enjoyed them when I was younger, and like middle school, I think, is when I read them. And then I hit the point where there's kind of the incest plot line. I was like, no, I'm done. I don't know, at this point, any book by Cassandra Clare, any book by Cassandra Clare. Question number 15, bookmarks or dog ears? I prefer bookmarks. I don't like to dog ear my pages. I just did recently with Pretty Girls, just because I didn't have any tabs with me to mark a couple spots that I wanted to go back to or talk about in my review, so I prefer bookmarks. 16, a book you can always reread. That's a good question. I used to reread the Warriors books a lot. I might have one more reread in me for all the books that I have. But Eon and Iana I have read a couple of times, and I would like to reread them again, so I would say Eon and Iana, and also the Legends books once I actually get my hands on a copy of Legend. Question 17, can you read while listening to music? Yes, but it has to be like film, TV, video game soundtrack. I cannot listen to anything with lyrics if I'm reading or writing, because it distracts me, even though I don't really listen to lyrics anyways when I listen to like traditional music. I don't listen to it. If it's got a good beat, I'll add it to one of my Spotify playlists. But for the most part, if I am reading, I will listen to the Skyrim soundtracks. I have a specific video on YouTube that I go back. It's like Skyrim, Music and Ambience, Rainy Night. There's a 1 hour version and then there's a 10-hour version. I've probably listened to the 10-hour version 3 separate times across like multiple days. Like I don't listen to 10 hours in one day. It'll spread out across a couple of days because those tend to be kind of the more relaxing soundtracks, and I really like the sound of the rain in the background. I'll link it down below if anyone wants to check it out. I do my best writing and my most consistent reading listening to Skyrim music. Let's see. Question number 18. One point of view or multiple? It depends on the book. I like reading multiple points of view. I also like writing in multiple points of view because I like having different perspectives. I think it's interesting to see the places that authors take these different characters. I mean, I've read the A Song of Ice and Fire books, and we all know how many points of view are in those books, which gets confusing with that just because there's so many. It's so expansive. But I do like a kind of restricted number of points of view. I think depending on the scope of the series, there can be too many. I think in kind of more of an epic fantasy, 2 or 3 is kind of my preference. One of the books I'm working on right now that I'm writing, I think I have like a max of 2 points of view, but I've debated on expanding it a little bit, depending on how big it ends up, or how long it ends up being. So, it really depends. I mean, some books really benefit from having one point of view, and others really benefit from having multiple. It just depends on the book. Question 19. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? I used to be able to read in one sitting. I would do that with the Warriors books. I would find out the date of publication when they'd be on the shelves in bookstores, and I'd go buy the next book, and I'd have it read by the end of the day. Like 6 hours, I'd have it done. Now, though, I do try to read as much as possible in one day, but I usually spread it out over a couple of days, because otherwise, if I read too much in a day, I'll kind of feel like I didn't get anything else done. So, question 20, the last one today. Who do you tag? I've got 3 people I want to tag today. I don't think they have done this tag yet. I'm going to tag Michael K. Vaughan, I hope that's how you pronounce your last name, Carolyn H. Hampsey, and Daisies and Dandelions. Check those guys out if you want to, and if you guys watch this video and feel up to doing this video, go ahead. I'll be excited to see what you guys do. So, that was my 20 questions tag. I really enjoyed doing this because it made me think a little bit, and I'm trying to find some other things to do for videos just because my reading pace has slowed down a little bit, and I don't want to have like too long of gaps between videos, because lately I've been trying to put out 2 videos a week, and I feel like I'm starting to slow down a little bit. So, it was fun. Thank you for watching. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad you clicked on this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.